Hey y'all, it's your girl Mayday Mayhem, and we are here with another what? Mayday Mayhem mystery. And we are still looking for what happened to Jelani Day, the missing student from Southern State University downstate in Bloomington, whose car was found in Peru. We are still trying to figure out what happened to Jelani Day. Now, there has been a third, trying to get a third autopsy done on Jelani Day. And we have an update actually from Jelani Day's mother speaking, saying that his cell phone has been found. And we're going to talk about the circumstances surrounding all these different things of Jelani's that was found in different places that no one can account for, that no one knows about. And it seems so strange and so it just seems so convoluted. Nothing is right. Now, I am a critical thinker. I'm a person that likes to think out of the box. I am a person that likes to look at both sides. I like to play that game to look at this side and both sides. I want to see what's going on. And in this situation, it's something definitely going on. But first, let's have a listen to what was said with Father Flagger, which is a prominent, priest on the south side of Chicago. And he is also speaking about the Jelani Day investigation, and honestly how it's not getting enough attention as it should be. So first, let's take a listen.
Told me he refuses to allow Jelani's case to slip through the cracks, vowing to help the family in their search for answers.
Why is this being ignored?
It's a case that caught the attention of St. Sabina leader Father Michael Flagger.
The more I started to read and listen, I got angry because it seemed to me, from what I've read and what I've learned, and then speaking with his mother, that this boy was killed. Here's this African-American woman feeling she hasn't got the help of the local government or law enforcement who are responding to her as if her son's life wasn't valuable.
Earlier this week, the LaSalle County coroner said Day's cause of death is drowning because Day was found in the Illinois River.
Jelani knew how to swim. Doesn't even make sense.
Day's mom tells the I-Team she wanted a third autopsy done to understand how her son died and to be sure that the body found in the river is in fact Jelani. So Father Flagger hired local private investigator and forensics expert Sergio Saratella and his team to help this mom get answers.
The first thing we did when we examined the body was look for external signs of trauma. So I'm looking for lacerations, incisions, broken bones, gunshot wounds.
Saratella says while his team did not find any obvious signs of external trauma to the body, he says it's impossible to say there was no harm done at this point.
The fact is, Mother Nature dealt us a very difficult hand. The remains were in water for 11 days, and the river washed away a great deal of forensic evidence. The heat, the water, which accelerated decomposition, and the environment really make forensic investigation very difficult in this case.
Saratella says he has not reviewed the LaSalle County coroner's autopsy, and he prefers it that way so that he can have an objective review of the case. But he says even if the cause of death is drowning, that doesn't tell us how Day drowned or if someone was responsible.
The other thing that I did was obtain DNA samples, and that's used to confirm the identification of the remains.
Saratella says there's one piece of evidence his team is still searching for that could be a game changer in this case: Jelani Day's phone.
With respect to his location, his movement, who he was communicating with, the content of those communications, I really think that if we can find his phone, digital forensics will advance this investigation in a major way.
Now, Saratella tells...
Now, let's skip ahead, okay? Do you see what that says on my screen? Jelani Day's mother says son missing cell phone has been found. Now, she did an interview that's about 9 minutes and 12 seconds long with Newsy. And we are going to listen to that one also. And we're going to stop in between to speak about things that she is saying that makes absolutely no sense. Now, 2 weeks ago, they hollering about we need a cell phone. Now, all of a sudden, the phone has popped up. But let's just take a listen. You know, like I said, my mom always told me, you listen to how it started, who's telling the story, what's telling the story, and what's happening. And this whole story is just insane. It really is insane, and it makes absolutely zero sense. And of course, being a Black woman, you are not taken seriously. And if you raise your voice, or if you show your dismay or your as to say, not going along with the shits, then you are considered an angry Black woman. I myself have been put in that situation. Of course, Black women are not perceived as feeling pain. We're not perceived as being intelligent. We're not perceived as being insightful. And I understand where she's coming from, because she has been trying to figure out what happened to her baby since day one. And don't nobody know nothing. And she had to do it all by herself. The FBI still has not came into play. Even though we've been begging and asking and talking about the FBI, they still have not came into play. Even though they said they were, they still haven't came into play. But the FBI will search across 50 states looking for one person. But no one will even take the time to go through video cameras to look for her baby. But let's hear it from her own words.
Tonight is continuing to follow the disappearance and death investigation of graduate student Jelani Day. Tonight, a major development in the case has Jelani's family and friends hopeful for new information and somewhat skeptical of police. It's our Newsy Tonight focus this evening. First, let me just get you caught up on where we are. Jelani, an Alabama A&M graduate and an Illinois State University grad student, was last seen at Beyond Hello Cannabis Dispensary in Bloomington, Illinois, August 24th. His vehicle was found just 2 days later in a wooded area in Peru, Illinois, nearly 60 miles away. On September 4th, an unidentified body was found in the river in LaSalle County, Illinois. It was determined to be Jelani on September 23rd. On October 26th, police would tell the public Jelani's cause of death was drowning. No signs of homicide. Throughout this investigation, Jelani's cell phone has been missing, along with any clues it might hold. Now, his mother says it's been found. It's in police custody, and Jelani's family wants a say in the upcoming process. Someone who's been leading the fight, pushing for answers surrounding Jelani's disappearance and death, is his mother, Carmen Bolden Day, and she joins us again tonight. Carmen, since we began talking a few months ago at this point, a big question always lingered in our conversations. Where is Jelani's cell phone? What clues could it hold? And now you tell us the Bloomington, Illinois police have it?
Yes, the Bloomington police have it in their possession, and I'm just wondering why they have it in their possession.
Now pause. We heard her say the Bloomington police have it. And why do they have it in their possession? And why are we just like for real finding out that they got the fucking phone? But I digress. Let's continue to listen.
Can you explain how it came to be in their custody? Because you wrote on Facebook about this, that apparently a guy says his friend or acquaintance found it on the side of the road, turned it in at Walmart, they took it to police. Is this really convoluted chain of custody?
Well, from what I understand, the gentleman, he was going down the interstate, and a mattress fell off the back of his truck. He got off the truck, he stopped his truck to secure the mattress back on the truck. He found a phone. He said that the phone had been shattered. He ended up taking it to a kiosk at a Walmart. because he said that the phone didn't work. He took it to a kiosk at Walmart. He received $80 for the phone. He did this on October 17th.
Pause. Let me pull out my script of paper. Now, he did this on October 17th. He found the phone and he took it to a Walmart kiosk and he got $80 for this phone. Now, where in the hell this phone been at the whole time? And if it's along the side of the road, I'm pretty sure it's businesses that's past that road that could account for him around October 17th, seeing him drop the mattress and resecure it and find this phone. It should be some type of surveillance showing this phone, showing him with the mattress and finding the phone. It should be some type of surveillance to show that. That's was my first thinking when she said that the man mattress fell off and he tried to pull over on the side of the road to resecure it, and then all of a sudden he found Jelani's phone smashed up. He took it to a Walmart kiosk, got $80 for it, and then now, and let's just continue to listen. Let's continue to listen.
Today is November the 11th. I found out about the phone, that the phone had been found and had been identified as Jelani's phone on early this morning, maybe about 1 or 2 o'clock this morning. However, the young man had let me know that he got questioned 2 days ago. So the police have been aware of this. They've known about the phone. They've not made me aware.
Now pause. She said that the young man knew about the phone 2 days prior. She's talking about November 11th, that she found out early the morning that they had her son's phone on early morning, November the 11th. Now, they questioned him 2 days prior. That would be November 9th. So that means Bloomington had this in their custody since November the 9th.
According to Peru and Bloomington, the FBI is assisting and providing resources. When I contacted them today, they told me that they didn't tell me about the phone because they wanted to be sure. They then told me that they were going to look into Jelani's phone to see what was on there. I questioned why they would go through the phone, and they instructed, and she said to me, Carmen, if you don't want us to go through the phone, let me know now, and we'll turn it over to the FBI. And I told her that's what I prefer for her to do. So if they can turn it over to the FBI and not mess with it, because at this point, I need the FBI involved. I need them to not provide oversight, not to be engaged, but to take over this case.
Overall, does the story does it sit right with you, a mother's feeling or intuition that a man happened to stop on the interstate and Jelani's phone happened to be at that exact spot on the interstate?
The area that the young man described the phone found in was the same area that I originally had searched. That exit, I didn't search that area, but the exit that the road leads to get off on that, I was there and I had told the police that is an area that needs to be looked at. Cameras need to be looked on that road. I'm sorry?
That's in Bloomington?
That was in Bloomington.
Where Jelani was a student?
I had spent an entire day going to different businesses. Actually found a Dollar General in that area that let me sit in that store for 4 hours to watch their cameras, where I believe I saw Jelani's car, and I did let the police know. I saw that exit that was on that road, and I wondered, is this a way that my son's car could have went? I made all of those concerns aware to the Bloomington police.
which this kind of falls into a pattern, I think is what you're saying. Someone else finds the phone. Someone else found.
Pause. Now, you just heard her say, there are stores. I just said that shit. There are stores up and down that area that she went into a Dollar General and they allowed her to look at their cameras and sit for 4 hours, and she believed that she did see her baby's car. Now, why haven't the police did that shit? It seems like there is just such a lack of, okay, who cares? Okay. First, it was like, well, maybe he's with a girl or whatever. Now he's turned up deceased. And let's not forget how we all found out Jelani was missing. Don't forget that counselor was the first motherfucker to call and pronounce him missing because he didn't show up for a meeting, but we clearly see him on camera dressed to go to a meeting, then in clothes to go to a dispensary. And I still say, if you look at that dispensary photo, when you go into a dispensary, like I said, I'm here in Illinois. I have a legal card. You go in there, they ask you to pull down your mask. Usually once you pull down your mask, it's a 5-second ordeal. You pull it back up. Jelani actually took his mask off as the woman is scanning his ID for him to get into the dispensary, because at most dispensaries here in Illinois, any students showing their student ID or state ID showing all that shit that they go to school, they get a certain percentage off of weed, and you have to have valid ID to even get into a dispensary. So with that being said, I still say it's something at that dispensary. After he left that dispensary, it all unfolded, but something happened prior to that dispensary on that campus that forced him into this situation, because even his whole demeanor is different from when he went in, when you see him on them few stills from getting coffee early that morning to these clothes he had on. It's a whole different demeanor, different change. But his mom is also speaking about how everything is found in these different places. Now, if you can pinpoint where the mattress fell off the truck around October 17th, where if you can see somebody's mattress falling off and the guy picking it up or whatever, you should be able to trace back between October, around that 17th, to maybe around the end of September, when Jelani was reported missing. And you should be able to see, did someone throw the phone out the window? Did Jelani actually throw it out the window? Did someone else throw it out the window, didn't get on the side of the road, didn't smash it in? But she also says she traveled along that side of the road and she didn't see anything. So was this phone tossed prior to? That's a question. Let's continue to listen because she has more to say, people.
Found the car, his clothes, his wallet, that it's just been very piecemeal and different people involved. You do not want the police to search Jelani's phone. Why is that?
Because I don't trust them at this point. If you look at how the evidence has been found, the car is found one place. I'm told about the different people that found the car. Then there's the wallet that is found, and they say it's Jelani that wallet, but there's a man and his son that found the wallet. Then 2 bored young ladies from ISU go looking for Jelani, and they find his clothing by a riverbank. And now the phone is found on the...
Sorry, guys, push the wrong button.
interstate, nothing adds up. Nothing adds up. And all it tells me is that me and my prayers and people that are around me that are listening and wanting to find answers to are the only ones that are looking for answers. So at this point, things are just falling into the laps of the police. So no, I don't trust the Peru police. I don't trust the Bloomington police. I don't trust the LaSalle police. I need the FBI to come in and take over.
In the past, I know you've been really upset, saying you felt like the police were not doing enough. I think you called them lazy online, saying they're lazy law enforcement. Now it seems like they're insisting that they will own this investigation, that they will search the phone, or possibly turn it over to the FBI. Is there a tug of war developing here?
So I'm not trying to create a tug of war because I've always been that parent that has wanted to be cooperative, compliant, not be viewed as the angry Black woman. But now as I sit here, I feel as if those are things I should have done from the gate because now I am angry. I'm very angry.
And nobody has been more forceful on this than you. You've been Jelani's biggest advocate. We know that there has been no one coming forward with the critical information you've been wanting. Where was he? What happened? Any other gaps, Rick, really quickly, that you need filled in tonight that maybe people could help with?
If people could just, we know that the last place that he was seen was in the Beyond Hello area. His phone last thing at 9:20 a.m. Now that I know that this phone was found on the side of the interstate, those businesses that are located off of that East Main Street in Bloomington, Illinois, if they can recall, and anybody can recall, on August 24th, being in that area, seeing his car, seeing him, if they have any information, please contact the FBI, contact the authorities, contact me. I've made myself open on social media. I am trying to do everything I can to find out what happened to Jelani. It is important to me to know what happened to Jelani.
You have been his greatest champion, and you've come on here night after night and spoken out night after night, and I really appreciate it. Carmen Bolden Day, we told you we were going to stick with you through this case, and we will.
Well, I appreciate you for keeping your word and sticking with me. I really do.
Before talking with Carmen, Newsy tonight did reach out to Bloomington, Illinois, and Peru, Illinois police departments. Neither has returned our calls.
Now, excuse me, as you can see, she's getting no help. And I understand what she's saying. When you try to talk calm and then when you raise your voice because you're not getting heard, now you're perceived as an angry Black woman. And like she said, I feel as though I should have came off angry from the gate. But somebody knows what happened. Like I said, let's start with that timeline. He was supposed to go to a meeting, excuse me, with this counselor. Let me see if I can pull that up. If I still had it on here. Where that little punk ass lady at? I may have deleted it. I may have deleted off here. With Sierra Booster. That was supposed to be the counselor he was supposed to go see that morning. Now she spoke to him. Oh, I spoke to him that night. And he was supposed to come right in early in the morning to see me. He comes in early in the morning. He comes in early in the morning to see her, and he's dressed in, of course, full attire, as though, he's going to a meeting. And as he's going to his meeting, he has a cup of Starbucks, just like I have right now. He goes and gets him a cup of coffee from Starbucks, which most college kids do. He's 24. He's a graduate student, freshman year into being a doctor, like speech doctor and things of that nature. Now, he's supposed to go into a meeting with a counselor. Now, she says she's only been knowing him now 5 weeks. Because her ass only been there 5 years. She's only been knowing him 5 weeks. Oh, he didn't show up for our meeting. I went to his last 2 classes and he didn't show up, and that's just not like him. So I called the police and pronounced him missing. Wait a minute. He missed a class and you automatically pronounced him missing, called him in missing. Like, what do you know that don't nobody else know? This phone could shed light. What is on those text messages or what was in that phone that the police already knew, excuse me, that it was Jelani's phone, but they didn't even tell her until 2 days later, oh, we had to make sure. What else did y'all find in that phone? And I don't blame her for not trusting them because they haven't been with her the whole time on this situation. And you have random objectives. Like she said, you have two young ladies that are bored and find his clothes. You have a man, his dog, and his son that find his wallet. And now his phone is found on the side of the road. While a man was taking a mattress off his car, he found the smashed up phone. None of this makes sense. And it's all random things. Oh, think about it. None of these things were found by actual police, investigators. None of these things were found by any of these people. Everything was found by her. I'm sorry, by other people in that neighboring area, not by the police, not by the FBI. And now the FBI is assisting, and I don't blame her. Yes, she needs the whole squad of FBI down there looking at that southern part of Illinois, because what is going on? And then the way his body was found, yes, excuse me. Of course, if a body is in water for 11 days and it's hot, you're going to have bloating. And, the gases are going to be kind of bloated. But all of his entrails and stuff was liquefied down to his brain to where his teeth were missing. Do you know when people usually go missing, they do dental, go to your last dentist and do a dental to make sure that's you, because can't nobody falsify dental paperwork or nothing like that. But then all of a sudden now they had to do DNA and to even make sure that that is her child because of the condition of his body. See, that's what everyone is puzzled by. The condition of his body. His body was in such of a condition to where, wait a minute, you're not going to tell me the wildlife got to him to where his eyes are missing, his top and bottom teeth are missing. You usually have teeth removed to conceal a crime, to make it harder to identify a person. And the only way they could do it through DNA. And let's not forget, he sat up in the coroner's office for damn near 3 weeks without them even knowing it was him after she had told them her child was missing. So you mean to tell him his body was in that much of a bad shape that you couldn't even tell that this was possibly maybe the missing young man that this woman has been looking for? It's unbelievable. And now all of a sudden now, Jelani has been missing since the end of September. This is the middle of November. Now, all of a sudden, oh, here's his cell phone right here on the side of the road. Well, goddamn, I know here in Illinois, they clean up on the side of the road like every other month or so, especially before wintertime. So they have places to push that snow and shit off to the road to clear the roadways. And you mean to tell me through a month and a half of this young man been missing, now all of a sudden his phone come up on the side of the road? Oh, it was smashed up. We didn't find out to the night, but we told you earlier this morning that, yeah, it's his. None of that shit makes sense. None of that makes sense. None of it. None of it. And we need justice for Jelani. What is the fuck going on that it's okay that no one knows anything? Like no one knows anything. And as you can see, Jelani is not the only missing Black child. There are other missing Black students. There are other missing students, period, that you don't hear not one time on the news. You don't hear anything portrayed about it. That shit has got to change. He's been missing since Tuesday, August 24th. Like I said, Monday night, he had a conversation with the teacher, the counselor. He come up missing the very next day, but he was on camera that day of getting coffee. That's why I say this digital world is a motherfucker. You can't do nothing without somebody seeing what you doing. Now, somewhere along that road, it's a camera that has seen either that phone being ditched out of a window, seeing the man that pulled up on the side of the road and actually fixing the bed that fell off and finding the phone. It should be something that you can see. It's something up in between there that's showing what happened. Because I just can't believe that Jelani went that way and the phone just mistakenly appeared about that. My belief personally is someone threw that phone there to throw off the trail because maybe someone's getting close to something. And they had to ditch that phone, and they knew that phone could be traced or find evidence. So they get rid of the phone and it mistakenly ends up on the side of the bridge. All these random people finding his car, his keys, his clothes. It's too much of a coincidence. Too much. None of it makes any type of sense. None of it. So my prayers continue to go out with the Day family. I'm still praying that Miss Carmen gets her due dessert. Like, find out what happened to her son, because she's been working so diligently on her own. No police really helping her. They ask her questions, but they don't even know the answers to the questions that they ask it, and it makes no sense. But they expect her to know answers, and she's coming to them asking them for questions, asking them for answers, and no one has answers to the questions she has. So I understand, and I'm praying that we get justice for Jelani, because no one deserves this to happen to them. Go off to college to do things and to be better, and to end up murdered because, like she said, excuse me, the Third Corners report talking about drowning, but he was an advocate swimmer. All right, he drowned, but can you circumvent what happened to his face? What happened to his face? No one can say what happened to his face. So I'm going to end this mystery with the way I end all my streaming podcasts and broadcasts. And no one told you they love you. I do. I truly, truly do. And make sure you do better today than you did yesterday, and strive for a better tomorrow today. And, you know, everyone stay safe, stay healthy, be on the lookout. You know, if anybody knows something or think they know something, you know, call the FBI. Don't be calling on no fuck shit, you know, but for real, call, because no human being deserves this to happen to them. So I end my broadcast with that. Please do not forget to check out my Mayday Mayhem podcast that is streamed over all platforms, where I talk about these cases and I go more into depth and say more than I can do on these other streaming networks. And we talk about other conversational pieces. So please don't forget to check out my Mayday Mayhem podcast, which is streamed about all streaming platforms, from Spotify to Anchor, to Apple Podcasts, to Google Podcasts. It's streamed everywhere. I am now on my 2nd season. So please check out my podcast. Please like, subscribe. Be coming to you with more news like this and more conversational pieces. So thank you. Everyone stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great day.